The Columbus City Council meeting for April 20th, 2026 will now come to order. In compliance with the Open Meeting Act, a current copy of this act is posted in this meeting room. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Bulkley.
Here.
Alarcon. Barr.
Here.
Hemer.
Here.
Jablonski.
Here.
Lopez. Here. Polinsky.
Here.
Roth.
Here.
Schilling. Mayor Bulkley, the roll has been called.
Thank you. Mr. Council President.
Our Father, thank you for the opportunity to serve our fellow citizens. Please give us your wisdom and guidance to make the proper decisions entrusted in the governmental body. May our conduct show respect, honor, and courtesy to each other as well as to all our citizens. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there? Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Good evening. I welcome everyone to tonight's council meeting. If at any time during our meeting this evening, anyone in our audience would like to address an item on our agenda, we'd ask you to please come forward, state your name and address, and we'd ask that you keep any comments to 5 minutes or less. With that, we'll move on to the consent agenda.
Item 4, consent agenda. The following items are considered routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member or citizen requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent status and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Item 4A, minutes of the April 6, 2026 City Council meeting. Item 4B, reappointment of Neil Carnes, Mark Bierman to the Board of Adjustment for 3-year terms. Item 4C, renewal of solid waste hauling licenses for Ace Sanitation Services Incorporated, Beamer Lumber LLC, doing business as Discount Dumpster, Hilltop Roll-Off LLC, doing business as Callaway Roll-Off, S2 Roll-Offs, Refuse and Recycling, Smash the Trash Sanitation LLC, UNI Sanitation LLC, and Waste Connections of Nebraska Incorporated, contingent on bond requirements being met. Item 4D, Finance Department report, and item 4E, payroll and bills on file. Mr. Mayor and Council, is there anything you would like removed from the consent agenda?
Mr. Mayor, I move the items on the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. We move on to special presentations. This evening I have 2 proclamations. First one, National Apprenticeship Week. Whereas National Apprenticeship Week annually raises awareness of the vital role registered apprenticeships provide in creating and meeting critical industry workforce demands. Registered apprenticeships programs develop the highly skilled workforce that employers need and create pathways for Americans to catapult into high-demand, high-paying careers. And whereas registered apprenticeship programs are industry-driven, high-quality career pathways that enable employers to develop and train their future workforce, and individuals can obtain paid work experience with a mentor, receive progressive wage increases, classroom instruction, and nationally recognized credentials, And whereas the City of Columbus recognizes the urgent need to prepare and maintain a highly skilled workforce that is capable of meeting the current and future demands of the industry we serve and fortifying our economy. And whereas the City of Columbus recognizes the pivotal role educators, school counselors, and educational institutions serve in not only bringing awareness of registered apprenticeship opportunities to students and parents, but also serving as training providers, program sponsors, and intermediaries. And whereas registered apprenticeship programs are uniquely able to meet the changing demands of the City of Columbus economy. Now, I therefore, James B. Bulkley, Mayor of the City of Columbus, Nebraska, do hereby declare April 26th to May 2nd, 2026 as National Apprenticeship Week in the City of Columbus, and call upon stakeholders and partners to recognize the value of registered apprenticeships and to promote awareness and expansion during National Apprenticeship Week. I think it's always important to recognize, as our world changes, the value of apprenticeships for many of the trades, and we see so many kids that are going that way now and the need for that in the future. I think it's very important, and this is a very timely proclamation. Second proclamation, Kind Columbus Day proclamation. Whereas acts of kindness, both large and small, have the power to strengthen our community, uplift our neighbors, and create a more connected and compassionate Columbus. And whereas fostering a culture of kindness encourages individuals, businesses, and organizations to support one another and contribute to the overall well-being of our city. And whereas Kind Columbus Day is an opportunity to inspire intentional acts of generosity, promote positivity, and recognize the impact that kindness can have on improving lives. And whereas residents, businesses, schools, and community organizations are encouraged to participate in Kind Columbus Day by performing simple acts of kindness, volunteering their time, or creating meaningful experiences for others. And whereas by working together to spread kindness, we help build a stronger, more welcoming community for all who live, work, and visit Columbus. Now, therefore, I, James B. Bulkley, the Mayor of the City of Columbus, Nebraska, do hereby proclaim April 28th, 2026 as Kind Columbus Day in Columbus, Nebraska, and encourage all citizens to celebrate this day by sharing kindness, compassion, and goodwill throughout our community. All right, hopefully we don't have to just do that on one day. We can make that something we do all the time here in Columbus. All right, we move on to public hearings.
Item 7A, public hearing, application from Williams Midwest House Movers on behalf of Jim Conant for a permit to move a house from 1808 East 23rd Street, Columbus, to land outside of the city's jurisdiction. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
Is there anyone here this evening to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here this evening to speak for this public hearing?
Move the public hearing be closed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 7B, oh, no. Sorry, did you do both motions? Looks like there's another.
Yeah, there should be a
Mr. Mayor, move the application from Williams Midwest House Movers on behalf of Jim Conant for a permit to move house from 1808 East 23rd Street, Columbus, Nebraska, to land outside the city's jurisdiction be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item Item 7B, public
Good to
hearing,
go.
application from Advanced Consulting Engineering Services on behalf of Keys Development LLC for final plat and development agreement of Dubas addition, extensions and connections of Isaiah Drive and 44th Avenue. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
Is there anyone here this evening to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here this evening to speak for this public hearing?
Mr. Mayor, I move the public hearing be closed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7B1, resolution number R26-54, approving the final plat and development agreement.
Mr. Mayor, I move for resolution number R2654 to be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R26-54. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7C, public hearing, application from Clark Grant on behalf of Dr. Jeffrey Gottschall and Tammy Gottschall for final plat and development agreement of J.C. and T&L Gottschall Second Subdivision, west side of 26th Avenue and 33rd Street. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
Is there anyone here this evening to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here to speak for this public hearing?
Mr. Mayor, I move the public hearing be closed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7C1, resolution number R26-55, approving the final plat and development agreement.
Mr. Mayor, I move that resolution number R26-55, final plat for the Gottschall subdivision be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution number R26-55. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7D, public hearing, application from Clark Grant on behalf of Dr. Jeffrey Gottschall and Tammy Gottschall to rezone property located in lots 1, 2, 3, and 4, Block B, and lots 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, Block C, J, C, and TL Gottschall Second Subdivision to the City of Columbus, Platte County, Nebraska, from R1 to R2, two-family residential, and to amend the future land use map of the comprehensive plan. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
Is there anyone here this evening to speak against this public hearing? Is there anyone here this evening to speak for this public hearing?
Mr. Mayor, I move the public hearing be closed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7D1, ordinance number 26-06, approving the rezoning.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the rules be suspended and ordinance number 26-60 be read by number only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules and read ordinance number 26-06 by number only. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Ordinance number 26-06.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve ordinance number 26-06.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 26-06. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7E, public hearing, application from Dale and Patricia Lobbins to rezone property located in lots 1 through 4 lying south of Union Pacific right-of-way and all of lots 5 through 8, Block 73, and Lot 1, Block 74, original City of Columbus, Platte County, Nebraska, from R3 to MLC1, and to amend the future land use map of the comprehensive plan. This is northwest of the corner of 12th Street and 14th Avenue. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
Is there anyone here this evening to speak against this public hearing? Is there anyone here this evening to speak for this public hearing? Well, come on, I kind of wanted him to get up and say hello to us anyway, you know? I mean, just because you're in the audience, you got to get up and say hello.
Fair enough. Hi, everybody. I'm Braden Lobbins, 1409 12th Street. I'm here representing my parents on this. Good to see everybody again. It's kind of nice and homey to be back here and see all these friendly faces, so thanks for having me tonight.
Any questions for Braden? Didn't think so. Thank you for stepping up. Good to see you. All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay.
Mr. Mayor, I move the
Oh, we
public
didn't
hearing
get,
to close.
okay, sorry.
Second.
We now have a motion and a second to close the hearing. Without further discussion, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 7E1, ordinance number 26-07, approving the rezoning.
Mr. Mayor, move the rules be suspended and ordinance number 26-07 be read by number only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules and read ordinance number 26-07 by number only. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Before we go on, I just would like to comment to the public. I think we had 4 or 5 items on this public hearing agenda. No questions were asked, and I think the reason for that is the work that our Planning and Zoning Committee put together and prepare and share with us. We felt comfortable with everything that was presented, and that's the reason you don't have a lot of give and take, because that homework has been done. Just a great example of what we get for support. All right, move on.
Item 9, reports of city office.
Oh, we got
Number 2, we got a.
Oh,
two.
sorry.
Oh,
Ordinance number
I agree.
26-07.
move that ordinance number 26-07 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 26-07. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Brings us up to reports from city offices.
Item 9A, the 2025 tax increment financing report.
Good evening, council. It's that time of year to go over the city's TIF projects. This is all governed by state statute, section 18-2117.02. There's a few different line items on here that are required to be reported. Number 1 being the total number of active redevelopment projects within the city that are currently ongoing, and there to date is 28 of them. Of those projects, the total estimated cost for those developments is $397 million, almost $398 million. That's a pretty substantial project cost in total, and it's actually up quite a bit from the prior year. So, this also required a comparison between the initial projected valuation of property included in each such redevelopment, as described in the contract, versus what the assessed values currently are. And that's on the matrix that's shown every year that we'll get to here in a second. The number of such redevelopment projects for which financing has been paid in full during the previous calendar year. We have none that were paid in 2025, during the calendar year 2025 that were finalized. There are two that are coming very, very close, and we'll talk about those here in a second. The number of such redevelopment projects that were approved by the governing body in the previous calendar year, there were 4 of those, and we'll see those here in number 6. Those were Cottonwood Heights, and then the areas of where those are, as well as the financing and estimated costs are there. So that's Cottonwood Heights, Quail Meadows, Cricket, and Zager Investments. And then the final thing that's disclosed here is that the city of Columbus is still currently 25% blighted, so that hasn't changed from the prior year. But if we take a look at the matrix here really quick, which is what is disclosed here every year, you can see that there's the 4 new projects up top there, as well as 2 from previous years that do not yet have base valuations or 2025 valuations. The reason for that is those have not had notice to divide yet. So 2 of those for sure are coming here really soon, I think. But overall, this schedule shows everything with all 28 of the projects that are currently ongoing, the year that they were approved, as well as the amount of the financing. So you can see the one column there at the bottom, the total financing that has been approved was a little over $63 million. But the overall estimated project cost is that almost $398 million. So that's a really sizable chunk. And then probably the most important thing here is the base valuation and the 2025 valuations. You can see there that there's a very large variation between what these properties were before they were developed and what they are worth now, and what the tax base on those is. So that's a really good thing for the community here. And then the estimated valuations per the redevelopment plans is just over $500 million there, $503 million. So that's pretty substantial. And then the last thing on here is the actual TIF taxes that were collected. So as you know, the city of Columbus is basically just a pass-through on these things. We receive, and then we turn around and pay those to the developers or the banks or whoever it may be. So during the 2025 calendar year, there was $2,469,000 and change that was passed through to these projects. And you can see which each one of those are there. So the biggest of which is Convergence. So is there any questions or concerns related to TIF projects for the 2025 calendar year? Okay, that's all I have then.
All right.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
Item 9B is the update on the Nebraska Department of Transportation Loop River South Bridges project. Mr. Bogus?
So they're on schedule, everything's going fine. What they're doing is they're working on basically Pier 1 and maybe a little bit of Pier 2's left to be done. So pretty soon, you'll be able to stop hearing the major pounding that's here around town for all that, as long as the testing goes out well. Then they're also working on abutment 1, which is the south one, so that kind of finishes up that south side. And they're estimating that maybe around that, starting in May 11th, that week, they'll start putting up the last of the girders. So that'll be another big, huge step there, and kind of move on from there. So things are going pretty well. The dip or the bump, whatever you want to call it, on the other side is obviously still there if you've traveled over it. The good thing is it's not getting any worse. And so right now they're just monitoring it, and if it doesn't get worse, they'll I think they're just going to kind of leave it. You do have an emergency backup plan though in place. You might have to put an asphalt wedge in or something if it gets any worse, but right now it's not. And yeah, otherwise things are going fine.
Any questions for Rick on the bridge project? All right. Thank you, Rick.
Item 9C, Columbus in Focus from our General Services team.
Hey everybody, I'm Matt Lindberg, the Public Communications Manager. I'm here again to present. I've realized because communications is in my title, I'm the de facto person who has to stand up here and talk, but that's okay. Last time I spoke to you guys about the general admin team. This time I'm talking to you about the general services team. So, if you can click that along, thank you. So, the general services team is made up of Betsy Eckhart, our Director of General Services, myself, again, the Public Communications Manager, Planning and Economic Development Coordinator, Jean Van Yperen, our Library Director, Jerry K. Hopkins, and our Parks Director, Sydney Mrochek. I put this quote up here from Michael Jordan because it's indicative of our group. That quote is, "Some people want it to happen, some wish it would happen, and others make it happen." For the first couple months we were together, we spent a lot of time talking about ideas we wanted to do to bring the community together and increase or improve the quality of life. I would say in the last month and a half, 2 months, we've really committed ourselves to figuring out plans of how we're going to make those things happen so we have something tangible to show not just the council, but our community. So we'll just break down what we work collectively as a group, but we also are doing things individually while we collaborate. So public communications, I've worked with the Parks Department, the Trackside District, the Library, and the Tracks Creative District to create consistent branding for Kind Columbus, which we have facilitated or disseminated out there in the community, and now we're seeing a pickup of businesses wanting to participate in what the idea is. I'm trying to read that from afar. Sorry, guys, I'm getting older. Thank you, Shrek.
I recommend you don't use black as a background next time.
Fair enough. Trying to be artsy. See, that's your guys' thing, not me.
Could have used pink.
What?
Should have used pink.
We've been producing reels and other videos with city staff and our elected officials. Our Kind Columbus reel has generated more than 12,000 views as of today since its release, and that video featured people speaking in English, Spanish, and Polish. So, yep, thank you, Rich. We're working with, I'm working with the Parks Department, Trackside District, and Tracks Creative District on creating marketing plans inspired by the marketing plan we rolled out for City Hall earlier this year. I've been working with the Police Department, Fire Department, Public Works, and the JCC and General Services on more than 24 forms of public messaging to keep people informed. And I responded and interacted with 15 members of the public who sent direct messages to the city on social media and put them in touch with our fine department heads and elected officials. So if you got any phone calls from residents, maybe that's because they reached out to the city. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Jean.
Jean Van Yperen, Planning and Economic Development Coordinator. Part of my job is to oversee the Creative District, which includes our art gallery here in the building and the sculpture walk and that type of things downtown. So in the last 60 days, we've had a new gallery show in the gallery. It runs through this month. It's the Columbus Area Artists Association has their juror show. We will be switching that out at the end of the month, and we're bringing in 3 different artists from Omaha who do more urban style art, so that's something to look forward to. We also this month had a artist come from Omaha, and she held 2 different artist in residency programs, one with the senior center so that the older adults over 55 could experience art at, could do something with art. And then we also had one in the Columbus Public Library for the teenagers, and that culminated with one canvas reception on Friday. We had over 114 people attend the reception, where everybody showcased everything that they created within that 2-week period of time. For that 2-week program, we had 20 to 25 kids per day participate in the program that was in the library. And at the senior center, we had anywhere from 4 to 6 seniors that participated. Since we started that program at the senior center, we did have a couple of retirement homes reach out to us. Cottonwood is one of them. The senior center is also interested in doing maybe a quarterly program, so we're really excited about that. So that's kind of what we've been up to.
Sorry. I'm Jerry Hopkins. I am the library director. Some of the things that we've been doing, I just want to first mention that this week is National Library Week. So we have bags that people can pick up at the library. We're also, the makerspace is finally open and fully open. We have it open all day long, and we have a system in place where people can learn how to use it and then can use it whenever they need to use it. But we also have staffed hours now for a total of 9 hours a week. Kelly recently, you can see her up there, she went to the Week of the Young Child with the United Way, and she helped that, and they were highlighting how you can read to your children, and she made balloons and gave them out to the kids. Story time. We always have story time on Thursdays, but we have expanded that to include Monday evenings and Saturdays, the first Saturday of the month, and the first Monday of the month. So now we're averaging over 300 people for our story time per month. The Friends of the Library, up there you can see they had this day forward, which was a presentation of wedding dresses from the 1800s forward, and we had 38 people attend, and I worked downstairs at the desk during that, and the people really loved it. They all commented on how amazing that program was. And finally, I just want to say that the community building is averaging 13,000 visitors a month in the building, coming in the front doors. So that's what's going on at the library and in the community building. Thank you.
Okay, Betsy Eckhart, Director of General Services, and I'm going to be representing Parks and Recreation since Sydney is still out. In the month of March, we had the Youth Sign-Up Day, and 358 kids attended with their parents in this very room. We had a trivia night with 16 couples that attended, a floral arrangement with 16 attendants, and that's what that picture is there. That was all held in this room. Our summer brochure is officially published and all programs are ready for registration. We've taken 54 teenagers through the lifeguard certification course. That is both for our pool, but then also local area pools as well. Over 50 kids attended the underwater Easter egg hunt. 88 people attended the glow-in-dark swim night. We worked these past 2 months with JEO across both the golf and parks departments to conduct the tree inventory, and findings for that will be coming early this summer. And we collaborated with the Tracks Creative District and the Artist in Residency projects at the Senior Center. Next.
Wake up down there, would you?
Yeah. So we just want to highlight that we are one team with one mission, which is connecting, growing, creating, and inspiring. And together we shape the everyday experience for our community. Do you guys have any questions about what the General Services team is doing?
No questions, all right. Thank you all, keep it up, good work.
Item 10 is reports of council committees. Item 10A, Public Property Safety and Works Committee of April 20th, 2026. Item 10A1 is the permanent utility easement located on Lot 1, JLO subdivision to the city of Columbus, Platte County, Nebraska. This is at Howard Boulevard and Evans Lane.
Mr. Mayor, I move the report be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt this committee report. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 10A2, minutes of the January 21st, 2026 Americans with Disabilities Compliance Committee meeting. The committee recommends approval.
Mr. Mayor, move this report be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt this committee report. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 10A3, Traffic Control Device Committee report for the first quarter of 2026. The committee recommends approval.
Mr. Mayor, I recommend the report be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt this committee report. Any discussion?
Yes, I'd
Yes, sir.
like to make a comment.
Yes, sir.
The flashing stop sign at 38th Street and 18th Avenue, I think is a great addition to our stop sign, so to speak. At any rate, it's a good, it works good. Thank you.
Yes, very good. So what Councilman Roth is referring to is the recommendation of the Traffic Control Device Committee was to install one of those flashing stop signs at the intersection of 38th Street and 18th Avenue. That will happen soon.
It's done.
It's done.
It is installed.
All right, well, that's great. Obviously, I haven't been on 38th Street and 18th Avenue. Or if I did, I wasn't paying attention. All right. That was a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
That brings us up to new business. Item 13A, appointment of Greg Seelock to the Civil Service Commission for a 5-year term.
Council, with your permission, the mayor wishes to submit the following name to you for consideration and appointment at the April 2026 City Council meeting per City Council rules. Civil Service Commission, 5-year term, Greg Seelock. Greg Seelock grew up in Lincoln, Nebraska and graduated from Lincoln Pius High School in 1989. He received his bachelor's degree in criminal justice from the University of Nebraska-Kearney in 1993, and in 1994 he was hired as a police officer for the city of Columbus. During his 28-year career with the Columbus City Police Department, he served as a patrol officer, field training officer, criminal investigator, drug investigator, polygraph examiner, sergeant, and field training supervisor. Greg retired from CPD in 2022. Following his retirement, Greg attended mortuary school and graduated with an associate degree in mortuary science from Des Moines Metropolitan Community College. Greg is now licensed funeral director for Gas Haney Funeral Home. He and his wife Kara have 3 children, Amanda and Nathan Frudenberg, Hannah and Zach McDuffie, and Micah Seelock. Signed James B. Bulkley, Mayor. Council, do I have a recommendation?
Mr. Mayor, I move for the appointment of Greg Seelock to the Civil Service Commission for a 5-year term.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13B, appointment of Brett Kumpf to the Board of Adjustment for a 3-year term.
Council, with your permission, the mayor wishes to submit the following name to you for appointment at the April 2026 City Council meeting per council rules. Board of Adjustments, 3-year term, Brett Kumpf. Brett Kumpf grew up in Columbus in a family with a strong community roots. His father, Tom Kumpf, was a longtime realtor for former Columbus City Council member. Brett graduated from Columbus City Scotia Central Catholic High School in 1981 and received his business degree from Midland College in 1985, where he also played basketball and golf. Brett has been in real estate industry for 26 years, currently working with Century 21 Realty Team. Prior to his career in real estate, he managed the Diamond Vogel paint store in Columbus for 13 years, building strong relationships throughout the community. Brett and his wife Connie have been married for 21 years. They have 3 growing daughters, all married, and 7 grandchildren. In his free time, Brett enjoys the outdoors and staying connected with the community. Signed, Mayor James B. Bulkley. Do I have a motion from the council?
Move for the appointment.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve this appointment. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13C, appointment of Russ Straley to the Board of Adjustment for a 3-year term.
Council, with your permission, the mayor wishes to submit the following name to you for appointment at the April 2026 City Council meeting per City Council rules. Board of Adjustment, 3-year term, Russ Straley. Russ Straley was born and raised in Columbus and graduated from Columbus High School in 1978. He then attended Central Community College for 2 years, where he studied architectural drafting and structural welding. Russ worked in construction industry until 1994, when he accepted a position as truss shop manager at Meade Lumber in Columbus. In 1998, he founded Russ Straley Construction and Design, specializing in light commercial and residential construction. In 2008, established Straley Building Solutions Incorporated, a material sales company that assists area contractors with drafting services and building material supply. 2016, he closed Russ Straley Construction Design to focus exclusively on growing Straley Building Solutions Incorporated. Russ served the last 5 years as a member of the City Service Commission for Columbus. Russ and his wife Lynn have 2 grown children and 1 granddaughter. He is grateful for the opportunity to serve on this committee and give back to the Columbus community, which was provided him with many opportunities and a safe place to raise his family. Signed, Mayor James B. Bulkley. Does the council have a motion?
I move the mayor's appointment of Russ Straley to the Board of Adjustment be ratified.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Yes, sir.
Just maybe for the viewing public, can somebody explain what the Board of Adjustment does?
Sure, I can. The Board of Adjustment is a group of professionals generally in the building and construction fields that see applications for variances from our minimum code. So they receive those inquiries and then make decisions on them.
And so and they just report directly to us, they don't to the Planning Commission or?
They make decisions. They are the only other board outside of the city council that does make final decisions.
Final, we don't ratify any, or
Correct.
we don't do anything. They're it.
Mhm.
They're the end all. Okay. I think the public would be interested, because you hear Board of Adjustment, it's pretty vague.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13D, appointment of Michael Dusman as an alternate to the Board of Adjustment for a 3-year term.
Council, with your permission, the mayor wishes to submit the following name to your appointment at the April 2026 City Council meeting per council rules. Board of Adjustment, 3-year term. Michael Dusman, alternate. Michael Dusman grew up in Humphrey, Nebraska, and attended St. Francis High School before continuing his education at the University of Nebraska, where he earned a master's degree in accounting with a minor in computer science. Following college, Michael began his 33-year career with Fiserv in Lincoln, Nebraska, in a variety of roles, including Chief Technology Officer for the Financial Division. He retired from Fiserv in 2022 and now lives in Columbus with his wife Sally. Michael currently serves as Secretary Treasurer for the Wagner's Lake Association and also provides consulting services for other organizations. Signed, James B. Bulkley, Mayor. Council, do you have a wish for a motion?
I move the mayor's appointment of Michael Dusman as an alternate to the Board of Adjustment be ratified.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve this appointment. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13E, plans, specifications, and estimate of cost in the amount of $204,509 and authorization to advertise for bids for the Columbus Loop River Bridge Mitigation 2026 project. Plans and specs are on file in the engineering department. This is CIP 25-25.
Mr. Mayor, move the plan, specifications, estimate of cost, and authorization to advertise for bids for Columbus Loop River Bridge Mitigation 2026 be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Yes, sir.
Just once again, maybe for the public to explain what we're trying to do here.
Absolutely. Rick, would you like to explain that?
Sure. So the Loop River Bridge that's now tore down, the one that we talked about earlier, getting rebuilt, was historic. And so in order to, you have to mitigate the historic loss of that bridge. It's a requirement from the federal government through the state of Nebraska down to the city of Columbus. And so it's run by the state DOT, and they work with all the agencies to find out what that best mitigation is. And so this plan that's here today to go out for bids is what that they came up with. The cost of this is not at no cost to the city. It's entirely 100% reimbursed by the state of Nebraska from the federal government. So there is no cost for that. But it's a requirement in order for the NDOT to get the funds to do the bridge project to build.
Thank you.
So if I understand right, we've torn down a bridge and then we're gonna build a mini bridge so people can remember to see the bridge. And it's not gonna cost us a thing, but it's gonna cost somebody something because all dollars come from everybody, right?
Well, that's all true, yep.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was on the same page as
You're on
everybody
the
else.
same page.
Okay. And
it is a requirement.
And it is, well, I was just gonna say, and we have to do it. If you kind of felt a sarcastic tone in my voice, it's true. I would not be in favor of spending this kind of money, but this is something we have to do to move forward with the project.
Yeah.
Yep, it is what it is.
Yep.
All right,
It would be nice if the bridge went over something.
It goes over the trail.
yeah, it's gonna go over the
It's gonna
trail.
go over the trail?
It's over an existing trail.
I thought it was along the trail, or is it?
No, it's over the top. You'll walk underneath it,
All right.
through it.
All right. Let's see, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 13F, comments from the mayor and city council members in compliance with the Open Meetings Act. No discussion may be held on this item.
Any comments from council members this evening? My only comment this evening would be to remind the public that Saturday morning from 9 to 10, I will be in the library on the first floor of the community building, operating my forum for the public, for anyone that wants to come forth and have a visit with the mayor. So, all right, we'll move on to resolutions.
Item 14A, resolution number R26-56, approving and accepting the permanent utility easement with JLO Properties LLC located in Lot 1 JLO subdivision to the city of Columbus, Platte County, Nebraska. This is at Howard Boulevard and Evans Lake. or Evans
Mr. Mayor, I move that,
Lane.
sorry.
No, it's good.
Mr. Mayor, I move that resolution number R26-56 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a motion and a second to approve resolution R26-56. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 14B, resolution R26-57, awarding the contract to Midlands Contracting doing business as Johnson Services Company in the amount of $133,409.75 for sanitary sewer rehabilitation 2026. This is CIP 20-94.
Mr. Mayor, I move resolution number 26-57 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution number R26-57. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 14C, Resolution R26-58, approving the professional engineering services agreement with Kirkham Michael Associates Incorporated in the amount of $125,384.19 for the airport runway and taxiway lighting improvements, reallocated CIP 26-15.
Mr. Mayor, move for the adoption of resolution number R26-58.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution R26-58. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Motion pass.
Item 14D, Resolution R26-59, approving the professional engineering services agreement with Kirkham Michael and Associates Incorporated in the amount of $20,000 to provide geographical information system and AutoCAD files for the runway approach zones for the municipal airport located, this is a reallocation from CIP 26-15.
Mr. Mayor, move resolution number R26-59 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R26-59. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 14E, Resolution Number R26-60, amending the award of the Community Development Block Grant Funds to the amount of $19,126.70 to Melissa Spearman for a downtown revitalization project.
Mr. Mayor, I move that resolution number R26-60 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R26-60. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion pass. Meeting adjourned. We will have our community development meeting as soon